Hey, what's up? Also, my transition didn't work, so let's try it again. No transitions today, for some reason. Let's try this again. Hold on. Yeah, there it is. Alright. Alright, and it's working. I don't know why. It just reset stuff for some reason. But yeah. Hope it's going well for you guys. It's pretty late, but I hope you're a good Sunday, whatever time it is for you. But yeah, I thought I would squeeze a couple hours work, so trimming it. Hey Alfredo, what's up? Here's my trusty coffee, which is good today. Yeah, still dialing in a little bit of my recipes. I'm doing pour over, like manual pour over, so it's a little bit tricky to get a nice coffee. What time is it? Where you live? It's 7:20 p.m. I'm in Italy right now. So yeah, it's almost always like, you're gonna get streams from me at this time, somewhere this time, maybe later. But I usually stream production. I want to stream production before dinner time, and if I do stream later, it's probably gonna be games instead of more labor-intensive things. Yeah, it does. I'm dialing in my technique a little bit. I think my technique is it's becoming better. I know coffees. Some have been better. I got like a Mexican one, which is being good to me as a like everyday coffee. This one is a Brazilian decaf, actually. I think it's decaffeinated with Swiss water technique, and it's I made this yesterday and it was a little chalky, a little astringent. Today I kind of ground coarser a little bit. It's better. But yeah, it's a little bit fussy to get nice coffee. But when you do get it, it's great. Yeah, it's a journey. I mean, it's a hobby. If you get this much into coffee, it gets like it is an hobby. So you you invest your time into it, you invest your money into it. So some people don't like to do that, and they get it because coffee is kind of needed. It's perceived by people like something you need, so they don't want to be fussy about it. They just want their caffeine dose. So I get when people just say that it looks like too much work to them, but at one point it just becomes like a hobby, so it's okay. Well, it's normal. Yeah, that's also weird to answer that. I guess if you had someone who could help you with tasting at first, would be very beneficial, because when you first start making coffee this way, at least, you don't really know what to aim for. You get this general thing where it doesn't have to be too sour, doesn't have to be too bitter, but you don't have a nice idea. And some coffees are more, sour than others, and that's the journey. That's why I'm starting to get good coffees now, after a month of doing this every day. Now this is good. Yep, pretty happy with it. I got like a very nice Peruvian one the bag is already gone, but it was very nice. It was very sweet, very it had some fruity things in it, like some strawberry, but it was very nice. I think I'm gonna get that again. While I got like an Indian one, which was very weird. I tasted all like spices and like licorice and a little bit of mint. It was nice. I liked it, but it was a little too weird. I think a little too. I don't know. Too much things for an everyday coffee. While a Mexican, this Brazilian and the Mexican one that I have, they're pretty good. To have every day. You're a Peruvian, all right? Yeah, Indian. You kind of have to be prepared for it. Indian is like, you know, be sure to be prepared for it because it's gonna be spicy, and not like hot. In that particular way of intending spice, but spicy like licorice or coriander or stuff like that. It's a little bit weird. Turkish coffee is very interesting, but I've never had it, but I know how it's done. Yeah, it's very, it's fascinating. But yeah, all this coffee talk was great, but I think I'm gonna get into mixing now. All right, everything is working. Even Spotify got paused. Sorry about that. It feels good when things work. All right. Man, I need to dial in these headphones as well. In terms of, yeah, they're a little bit too. All right, now I feel a little better. All right, so let's take a listen to this and see, what we did last time. See if we still like it. Sometimes you don't like what you did. And I have no audio. You don't have any audio. I wonder why. Control room. All right, it's weird. Yes, there are these. Oh, right, that's why I had zero volume on the output for some reason. All right, there it is. Much. All right. Not too bad. Not too bad. I like the overall balance is alright, considering we don't have um any compressors, anything really for now. Hey Thiago, what's up? Thanks for checking the stream, and I'm fine. I'm alright. Having my coffee. I'm doing audio work, so it's always good. I'm remastering this track because I want to release it on Spotify and other other services because it's not there yet for licensing issues because there was no way of licensing this specific song or anything from Plok because there was no soundtrack available until a couple years ago, I think. Because they released a very nice vinyl edition, and now you can actually because I can only license covers from music that's been released commercially in the US. So this is the caveat, right? And there was no Plok soundtrack, but they did this release. They released this vinyl like a couple years ago, so now I can license the tracks and I'm gonna be remastering this one in acrylic and maybe do another one from scratch. Probably the boss theme, I want to say. So I can make like a little EP or whatever, or maybe release them one at a time. I don't know, really, but that's the overall idea because like I really got better at production in the past. I want to say couple of years, like 2-3 years at most. So I have a lot of old stuff that maybe I like the arrangement. I like this one, but I don't like how it was produced, and it was barely produced actually. Like if you now this we already worked on, but if you took a look at the original project, it was just nothing. It was just a little bit of balance, and really that was it. That I didn't know much about it. I learned a lot, so I think it's worth it to revisit some of these old covers. Acrylic cover is my favorite of yours. It's one of my favorite too, and in general, like I really like Plok music. I think it's amazing, both in terms of writing and technical achievement, if then makes sense. That stuff on the SNES was crazy. But yeah, yes, actually yes. I know the soundtrack since I was like 4 or 5 or whatever. I know a lot of people know the soundtrack because enthusiasts, VGM enthusiasts, kind of talk about Tim Follin a fair amount. But I actually got to know this like first person when I was a kid, and always stuck with me. All right, so I want to start applying a little bit of EQ on the overall tracks, right? So what I'll do is I want to take a look at the curve. I actually played this game as a kid too. Yeah, that's great to hear. We are a few, but we're real. Let's take a look at the curve, which is alright already. It's pretty alright. I want to boost this sign a little bit. Another thing I want to do, yeah, let's do this first. Let's take kick. All right, well, so let's do this. What I'd like to do is I use Nova, which is a great EQ. I'm not sure if any of you do audio work, but please take a look at this plugin because it's great. And what I want to do, I want to take the sidechain signal from the kick, right? And make it so that this bass sound gets compressed a little bit, not compressed, but it gets reduced in volume when the kick drum plays, right? So it's not going to be as much as an overlap in sounds. And this is usually good in terms of clarity, so you can hear the kick better, right? Right, so now this is happening here on the bass. And we can go even a little bit further down. Too much like this, but it's... And we can just listen to this. Right? We can even move this a little bit further up, like 70. Now the kick is more present, so you can hear it a little better. It doesn't get covered by the bass. Yeah. Yeah. As a kid, I never heard anything after the boss theme. Yeah, it was pretty difficult. The game is a little weird. It's not the greatest example of game design sometimes, but you know, I think it's a very creative game, and it had a lot of potential to be, you know, to get better. The formula could have gotten better with potential sequels, but unfortunately, we didn't get any. You know, sometimes the game had some bullshit things like enemies spawning at the edge of the screen. You know, some more old, you know, more old timey game things. But overall, I really think it was a, you know, the game was worth your time, I guess. So that it's that's a good way to go about it, I think. I would still play it today, so it had problems, but you know, I think it deserved a little bit more in terms of you know, public recognition. And I know the creators are very passionate about it because they kept going with a webcomic for years, and I think it's active still. I really hope they, I don't really hope because like there's no real, rational, reason because they would put Plok on Nintendo Switch Online, but I really wish they did so more people would know about it. So sometimes I pull back the volume and this helps me get volumes of the single track straight. Now the bass sounds a little quiet. No. Not really. Alright. Let's get the lead guitars. So sorry if it's very low for you in terms of volume. Alright. Right, let's add more instruments as we go. Very low. Alright, that sounds better. Alright. I think it would be better with save states too, yeah. This snare is being a little loud. Right. This is a nice way to kind of get a feel for every single instruments or group of instruments. So sometimes the whole thing sounds okay, but in reality there are some tracks that get buried down from louder ones. So you kind of want to go one by one. In this case, these guitars are actually a little quiet. All right, sounding all right. All right. All right. I'm liking the overall sound now. I think it's a little more balanced. That what it was just a couple minutes ago. Now we can keep balancing things with compression, and I'll show you how. I never get bored of this theme. It's super great, honestly. It just didn't have to go this hard for what it was back in the day. Was just another mascot platform, but Tim Follin doesn't quit. It's great. Actually, in reality, he did quit from games, and that's super. It's sad because I wonder how he would approach music making for games now. Like, we have this wave of cinematic things, music. I really don't like it. I had to be like super straight. I really don't like the trend. I know that music should kind of I can't put it. It should improve. The rest of the game shouldn't take like full spotlight, if that makes any sense. But I really don't like this boring cinematic trend that is going on. It's been going on for a while now. Now, what we can do is apply a compressor over here and kind of make it so it bounces a little bit, like the whole part kind of bounces with the drums. So I'll show you. I'll just see one. If you do audio work, you're gonna know this very basic compressor, but I will just loop this part. So now it kind of like compressor is working on both the drums and the whole main group. So what this means is when you get these loud hits of kick, drum, and snare, everything is going to get a little bit squeezed. So what happens in reality is, the track gets compressed, and it means you get less volume. It kind of gets toned down a little bit every time there's a snare hit or a kick hit. So you get this like bouncy feeling. So it gets more dynamic. As opposed to this, which is less. It's more like I'm not sure how to describe it. It's more like static instead of this. Maybe the ratio was a little bit too much, but you can barely notice it, but it's there. Plok guy. Yes, exactly. How are you, Ursa Major? I just got my usual beard. Maybe the guitar solo is a little loud here. Yeah, it was a little loud. Oh, actually, I did. Oh, right. That wasn't supposed to be. Sorry. Yeah, I need to bring down everything, not just the. Right. Right. That's a good idea. Again, what I want to do now is go to the actual stereo out here and put a glue compressor. I like to put this kind of early so I can work into it, but basically I just use this pressure over here, which is pretty standard. And now it's working way too much. You can hear it, but we just have it work very like carefully and slightly. Yeah, the kick drum now sounds a little too much. Another thing I want to do is this kick drum is a little bit bright. I want to remove a little bit of brightness. All right, working pretty good. Let's start working on individual compression over here. So bass. So we kind of straighten things out a little bit, so the loudest parts get squeezed a little bit, so that everything sounds a little bit more consistent in terms of volume. Same thing with the drums. I actually want to use another compressor that gives it a little more color, because the C1 is a good compressor, but it doesn't give any color, just transparent, just compresses the sound. These ones are actually emulations of popular hardware compressors, so they kind of do that thing where they change the sound a little bit. All right. Sounds pretty right. I think this is the loudest part of the song, so let's check the master compressor here. All right. kick is a little loud. Kick needs its own little compression here. Sometimes it kind of gets out and it's noticeable. So just want it to be less loud in some parts, like here. Yeah. Yeah, here that there's like a big hit, and I'm not sure what it is. Maybe the kick? Yeah. Yeah, definitely. These tabs needs to shut up a little bit. I like them, but they're being a little I'm gonna cut out the harshness out of this with a de-esser. So all right. Another thing I want to do, and I will do it right now, is to create an effects track with basically the earlier reflections, which are something you do to emulate what you'd hear in a room, basically. Right? So I usually like Studio 2, I think. Studio B, maybe, yeah. And you just remove the reverb and just have the reflections. Right. I'm gonna put these on not all the instruments because it's gonna get a little bit too much, like it's gonna get too much too confusing. But on main instruments, I will do that. So the refs as well. Basically anything that would play like in the same room, I think it works. Not sure why these guys were muted. Very weird. All right. Gonna add a compressor here as well. All right. We're in a very nice spot, I think. Let's add some compression over to the leads. And I'll do it like this. And this is just to make sure that everything is kind of, consistent in terms of volume. It's not gonna be super flat, but just want to keep in place some of the loudest parts. I kind of want this lower guitar a little more quiet. Do the same for guitars like guitar 2. Compress this again. I used to like a lot putting like two guitars in an octave harmonization, but I don't do that and as much anymore. So the same here. Right. Sorry for not speaking too much in this section, but I really need to listen. And it's kind of, you're doing more subtle things, so you need to be more quiet and be more just pay more attention. Let's put a compressor over here too. Very slow one. All right, let's send these guitars to the. I'm gonna send the lead master to the early reflections, so that we have that little depth on the leads as well, which is very important to kind of distinguish between those sounds. And we can listen to what's happening by just muting everything and just. This is just the effect, right? This is just the little reverb, room reverb that's going on. Yeah, not bad. Probably need a compressor over here to this on these guitars. Don't do too much. All right, that feels fine now. Let's look at the overall curve and see if we can do some broad adjustments to the, to the frequencies. Hey, Lily Goomba, what's up? Thanks for sorry, let me thanks for checking out the stream. And yes, I do know about the Plok comic. We need more help over here. Blew my mind a little bit. Yeah, it is very mind-blowing. I guess it shows how much they cared about it, and they went on for years. I think it's still going. Not sure, not like 100% sure that it's still going, but I'm pretty sure it is. Let me put. Yeah, I wanted Q before. Let's put one of these. I can't find them. Troll, I think it was. Yeah. I actually had a little talk with one of the Pickford brothers in private. It was more about, a thing I wanted to do, which this is about. I'm gonna be releasing this track along with Acrylic and maybe another one that I will make, from scratch on Spotify, because I couldn't in the past, and now it's licensable, so I can actually now release them properly. And I tried to get into a talk with them about designing a cover art, because I thought it would be a nice thing, if they actually got to draw a cover art. Of course, it would be like a commission for me, but they kind of didn't want to get involved with cover projects and stuff like that. I guess it makes sense because, because it would be like semi-official if they did anything about it. But still, I would have liked, it would have been a very nice thing if I could have commissioned a cover art, to them. But I understand why they said no. And they were not very knowledgeable, if at all, about this licensing thing, about music, and BGM in general. But yeah, let's just boost a little bit. The 60 is around 60 hertz. Now this is way too much. But now we have a lot of more low end. had this like 700. The whole stereo image is a little bit shifted to the left for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe I know why. Hold on. I think it was a thing with like the real NLS channel, or yeah, the NLS channel gave me that problem where it kind of changed. This is stereo. Let me check all of them because there might be, yeah, this is stereo again. Everything seems fine. Yeah. Yeah, everything is a little bit too much on the left. Now it's actually fine. Check before. Yeah, I think it's these guitars here, these low guitars. Put them just in the center. Yeah. Alright, now it's looking better. Alright, not looking too bad. We need to have the kick drum though. Just give it a little help. Low end. All right. We're not looking too bad right now, but we need to add reverbs, a lot of reverbs, a lot of delays. That's what usually gets more dynamism going in a song, and it like everything sounds a little bit dry now. And I know like some adjectives, some descriptors I use might not make too much sense, like to you, just because you don't work on these kind of things. But you'll be able to notice difference. And one thing I want to do, like it's gonna be super clear, like here, or actually not the stabs. Yeah, I want to add a delay to these guys. So I'll make a generic, I call it 16. Oh, sorry, this is I just used my usual delay, which is a very standard one. It doesn't do anything weird. I call it like 16s. Ping pong. And let's just do that. Dance and ping pong. Let's see what happens. Right? It's too loud now. I like it more like this. Right, so you kind of don't notice it until I pull it away. This is without. This is with. Right? Right, it's super dry now without it. I want to add this to, or I want to send guitars to it as well. All right. The only thing I'm worried about is when I get the tempo change. It's kind of cool. Another thing I'm thinking. I wanna lower the volume here. Like I'm gonna put 1 point here. And just go down a little bit. So this is gonna be. Is this fine now? So let's go. Yeah, way better now. Right, not too bad. Now next things are gonna be what I'm gonna do in the coming streams, or as the next thing is adding a bunch of delays like the one I've added, reverbs, getting everything a little bit more cohesive, because this is what they do. Like they make everything sound less dry and everything sounds more glued together. So that's the idea. But I think I'm calling it a night for today. It's alright. It's been a couple hours, a little less, maybe 1.5, whatever. Didn't want to do that much today, so I think we're good. And yeah. I hope you enjoyed this little, Sunday thing. It's I didn't plan it. I didn't plan it, to be fair, but it's it is what it is. I will try to squeeze sessions when I can, so I can chit chat with you guys while I work. And I'm still planning to stream more, like purposefully, with a plan, like with maybe a game to play or stuff like that. But I will need to think this through a little bit, because time zones are making this hard. It's always gonna be somewhere between morning and early afternoon for anyone who lives in the US. So even if I stream, like, let's say I start in an hour, it's gonna be afternoon for the US. So unless I decide to stream like 6 a.m. in the morning, it's not gonna be good for for you guys. But I'll see what I can do. And yeah, thanks for sticking by as always, and I'll probably see you tomorrow. If I can squeeze a couple hours of mixing session, I will. So have a nice rest of your Sunday, and Thanks again.